You can imagine the prayers that those people talk about.
But it must have also taken a very genuine, deliberate interest in your people.
Yes.
For you to invest to the level of saying, this is your plan A, this is your plan B, and as their leader, you do understand what their different options are and how to support them.
You know, Dennis, I think it's important to know that staff are the greatest assets in every institution. When you don't get it right with staff, no matter what you do, whether it's a small business, it's a personal business, it's a private or public, if you don't get it right with the staff, you will not get anywhere. So for me, I cannot deliver. I would not have gotten to where I am if I didn't have people who are supporting me, if I didn't mentor the people to acceptable levels. Like I said, if you remember, I said, I managed to move from secretary to personal banking because of an individual who believed in me. He gave me that environment to be able to move on. So it was actually my responsibility to be able to give back and mentor the people. And when I meet them, when they see that I've been appointed, they're very happy. And they can say it has taken a lot of hard work.
I'm sure Daniel Lesau is praying for you a lot, man.
Yes,
I hope he is, man.
If he does,
I hope you are.
He has no
He's
choice.
a great friend of mine.
He has no choice than to do that, and I wish him well.
Yes.
Because he's an interesting and a very gifted
and a
young
great
man.
leader too.
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
is. So from there, I was told then I needed to move from Westlands Retail to go to open a new Supreme Center.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, where do I start? At least, yes, I've been successful, but I've never been given the key to the premises with no customer.
Right. This is greenfield completely.
Completely.
Now. For the first time now,
as in you only have staff, you have
this.
your equipment.
Yes.
No one. You have no balance sheet at all.
You're building from
You actually
zero.
have a negative balance sheet because you must pay back.
So even from a P&L perspective, you have
zero. You're borrowing. You're actually being supported by head office.
Right.
But guess what? In 3 months, I was able to break even.
Whoa.
3 months. I was the first Supreme manager to actually break even in 3 months.
Wow. Congratulations.
And of course the story, the story of Westland Supreme, it's very interesting. By the time I left, we had the highest balance sheet in the bank, in the Kenyan market. And when I left in November 2017, I was the most profitable branch. I actually did $1 billion.
One
profit.
$1 billion.
The day I left, that year we reported a profit of $1 billion.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. And James owes me a lot because he never gave me the profit share. But I thank James because he gave me the opportunity. He gave me the leeway and the environment to be able to deliver. He actually gave me the branch, make it. You either make or break it. And it was my responsibility to make it. And I would also want to appreciate the support that I got from Elizabeth Gadai, who was then the risk and the director credit. She was risk and credit director then, and she did an exceptional job. I want to thank Moses Dirangu, who was the corporate director. We worked very closely. And I got in, I would want to say that I got in a very big ticket. The highest ticket ever in the books. And I wouldn't want for confidentiality. I wouldn't say what it was. But we got in 15 billion shillings. And you can imagine with a single obliga and everything, we were able to bring in 15 billion shillings. That was quite commendable. And I think that is how we were able to do the 1 billion. And then that has been an interesting journey from the secretary all the way to a senior business growth and development manager. And I believe by the time I left, even if I was not given the role of the general manager, I was more than a general manager. And I thank James for giving me that opportunity. And also for allowing me to go out into the public sector, because I had to actually, I had a conversation, a very deep conversation with him to let me go so that I can see what the public has to offer. I was appointed as the county executive committee member.
Yep.
They are called CECM.
CEC, yes.
They're a member of the county executive committee.
Right.
The county executive committee is a replica of the cabinet in the national government.
Right.
So the county executive committee member is a replica of the minister in the national government.
Correct.
So I started off as a county executive committee member for finance and development planning.
Right.
And
this is Nyandarwa County.
This is Nyandarwa County.
Under His Excellency Governor,
the Governor Kimemia.
Right.
And it was actually a good, very, very, very good appointment.
Right.
Being in charge of the County Treasury,
yep.
being in charge of planning,
right.
Coming from the bank, it was just like a continuation.
It was a very natural space for you.
It was.
You've been dealing with finances
yes,
anyway.
Yes, yes. And I would say that I have gotten quite a number of key milestones.
Right.
I supported the governor to do his first manifesto
right.
that we've done very well.
Right.
I supported the governor to do the county integrated development plan.
Right.
2, that is a strategic plan
yep.
for the county. And I handled the county treasury in a manner that even the county assembly members thought I'm bringing the national government concept
yep.
into the rural. You know, when you look at the county, they think we should have the kienyeji operations.
Right.
But I stepped the bar quite high.
Right.
And performance-wise, in terms of performance, I did an exceptional job.
Right. Right.
In terms of creating the environment, very challenging.
Right.
Extremely challenging. Remember, I was used to handling professionals, the market, structured operations. Then you move to an area where it is, so to speak, semi-structured.
Right.
And everybody expects that you're actually managing a very big kitty.
Right.
And everybody wants to have their hand in it.
Dip their fingers in it.
And of course, from the banking sector,
right.
I know what money is all about.
Absolutely.
I know what prudence is all about.
Yep.
I know that there is no free coin anywhere, and I have to protect the public resources.
Right.
And I've got a lot of resistance.
Yep.
From the county assembly,
right.
from the community,
right.
because I was too strict.
Right.
I was too strict for their liking.
Right, right.
But that worked for me.
Yep.
Because with time, I think after I did 1 year, I was supposed to be impeached.
By the county assembly?
By the county assembly.
They thought you're becoming too much.
They thought I'm becoming too much,
right.
and they thought the governor also is too much. He's not allowing them to dip their fingers into the kitty.
You're overprotecting this kitty.
Precisely.
Right.
And they thought the easiest way to cripple the government was to impeach me.
Right.
So they've tried, and every year, actually, surprisingly, every year they wanted to impeach me.
Right.
Even when they're my friends, when I give them the respect, I'm able to explain to them,
right.
this is possible, this is not possible.
Right.
But the hardest year was year 1. I didn't know what impeachment was all about. To me, I have done my work.
Right.
And I've done it right. What is this I'm being told?
This is you coming from the corporate side of life to a political environment.
Precisely, and it's totally, they're two different worlds.
That transition must have been difficult.
It was. Oh, I can tell you it was.
Particularly, what was the most difficult thing in that transition?
The bit about handling the executive,
yep.
ensuring that they understand that you have a responsibility over the county treasury and you can't just dish money, and you also need to have controls in place. You need to be strict because anybody who is handling money, you can't be liked by everyone. If you're liked, in fact, if you're a finance person and you're liked by people, you're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
So you really must be very firm but fair at all times. And also now the other side, handling the executive is one thing, handling the assembly is another. So you have enemies all over.
Right.
But you have to stand firm.
Right.
You must do your job. And honestly, when it comes to performance, I've realized, and I've also now become a bit more flexible, that there are times you have to let loose a bit, but maintain the professionalism, maintain the standards, and ensure that everybody understands what needs to be done.
Right.
But that flexibility is there. And then also, how do you communicate to the people who might not be at your level, yet you must communicate to them, make them understand what exactly are you doing. Remember I said, I didn't take it seriously because for me, impeachment or no impeachment, I've done my bit.
Right.
You're not going to have this kitty, it's not yours.
Right.
It is for the public.
Right.
And it has to be accounted for.
Right.
And I didn't think it was that serious. Until I realized now we had to mobilize everyone, get to ensure that we get it right. And fortunately, God came through for me again. And I was not impeached.
Wow. I mean, I wonder how you find sleep when you know everybody is baying for lack of a better term, baying for your blood and saying, man, we've got to pull her down.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Being a believer works magic.
Right.
Being a strong person, because what that means is that it made me so strong. It hardened me.
Right.
At times I almost feel that I became almost impersonal.
Right.
Because it hardened me to a level that as long as it's right, I will do it. As long as it's wrong, I will not do it.
So you took positions?
I took positions.
And you ran with conviction?
Yes. But having taken the positions, Dennis, I created very good relationships in the process.
Right.
Because people came to appreciate that as much as we would want her to go, she's protecting our interest. She will be flexible, she will give us solutions. In finance, everybody should be a solution provider. You don't come with obstacles that is not possible. Yes, it's not possible, but is there another way of doing it? So actually, we became very good friends.
Right.
And I have, surprisingly, I've enjoyed my stint.
So does that mean, Waziri, you had to figure out how to mobilize these people and all of that stuff? So
precisely.
Right. You're in a political environment, you work politically.
Precisely.
Right.
It's a political environment, you have to know how to, and they mean well.
Right.
I mean, it's in the course of doing their job.
Right.
And as long as it's not personal, they get to appreciate you. And the good thing is that they knew, as long as I'm there, whatever it is they need done, it will be done. It will be done. Not the wrong thing, but the right thing will be done. As long as it's the right thing. So we actually created very strong relationships. With the same people who initially wanted to impeach you. Yes, and they wanted to impeach me every year. Right. So it became the norm. And whether or not they wanted to impeach me or not, it became the norm. And I'll tell them, now it's up to you. Would the motion get to the floor of Bunge? It's only one that got to the floor. The others now were able to. You neutralize it before? You detonate it before? and some of them, it's not because of me. Yes. It's because they're trying to get the principle. Right. Which they think, actually, some of them used to tell me, I support him blindly. Yes. But let me tell you, Dennis, I think my assignment at the county, and I totally believe it was a divine assignment. Right. I needed to be there, set up the structures for the finance department, and of course moved on to the department I'm in now. And as a result of me having been there, we can look back and say we have made it. The foundations were strong, were set very strong. They might not be, we might not have achieved 100%, but for you to achieve 70% and above, 70 is an A, so it's an A, you're good. You're good. Hardly do some of us even get to the 50 anyway. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. But I think it also takes a very strong personality to stand in the middle of those kind of storms and say, by the reason of this value and virtues, this is how we're going to go, and find a way to carry the political wave around it. I think God blessed me with the confidence and the boldness. Right. That I thank God. You don't struggle in that. I don't struggle. And honestly, it takes the hand of God for you to be that courageous, for you to be that bold. Put it as it is, whether people will like it or not. I mean, it's the right thing. Right. And He directs you. Here is a true north. He actually orders your step, as in do A, B, C, D. Right. And when you do it, everything flows. Right. I was talking about the stint at the Nyandarwa County. Right. I tell you, I was able to mix with the bottom of the pyramid. Right. They're all my friends. Right. And the impact that I was able to create, the difference, you're able to go and build a house for someone who has no house. Right. You're able to go and see the disabled. Right. You're able to actually give them food. Right. You're able to. And all this was courtesy His Excellency the Governor. We created a lot of, we actually made a significant difference. And when you look at the performance of Nyandarwa County, when I was in finance, we were the first county to actually get a clean audit in terms of financial management and financial prudence. From the Auditor General? From the Auditor General. So we were, it was us and Makueni, and that was quite commendable. Right. And as a result of that also, we became number 2. We had a grant called the Kenya Urban Support Program and also the Kenya Devolution Support Program. Let me talk about the Kenya Devolution Support Program. That was about training and of course doing some developments here and there, following the donor conditions. When we went in, we were rated number 2. When then the subsequent years, all the years we were rated number 1. So you can imagine being rated number 1 by the World Bank.
Well done.
That actually earned us a grant.
That standard is high. It means that then the standard at which you're being measured is high.
It's quite high.
Which is also very inspirational, Waziri, because then what it means is that then we do have that capability as a country.
No, we do.
We are able to play at that level.
Yes.
If only we decided to hold ourselves against a certain standard and run it with that conviction and unwaveringly run it that way.
And since the standards are there, why can't we follow them?
Absolutely.
We just need to follow them.
Right.
We just need to know that these responsibilities we've been given, the mandate that we actually undertake, we've been given by the mandate by the public.
Right.
And it's only fair that we actualize the mandate in the way it is prescribed. It's very clear. You're supposed to do A, B, C, D, do it without so much deviations. You won't miss a deviation here and there, but it's important that the deviation is not 10%, not more than 10%, and you're able to actually get value. So out of that very good performance, we're actually given 906 million shillings.
Wow.
And out of that 906 million shillings by the World Bank, that was a grant to do a development project of our own choice. So what we did is that we bought equipment, the road equipment, worth 500 million.
Right.
And I was very instrumental, one, in ensuring that the approval for the purchase of the equipment, the 500 million. We had a series of meetings with World Bank to actually demonstrate to them that it's possible for us to buy the equipment, for us to run them, for them to actually create value into the county. So since that was being handled by finance, I actually did the procurement and we bought the equipment. And once I completed the task of purchase of the equipment, the governor said the same energy, the same commitment and the same passion that you had for purchasing the equipment, go and sort out the roads department for me.
Right. Because now you have the equipment.
You have the equipment.
Go get the job done.
You've had a lot of input. You've gotten the money.
Right.
Go and get the job done. And for sure, everybody thought it was a demotion, but that was the critical path for the county, because you realize that as an agricultural county, the infrastructure is key, and especially the road sector. And we had a lot of issues on the road sector, and I'll tell you, year one, that was 2019-2020, we did double what we were doing the previous years.
Because of have your infrastructure.
We have the infrastructure. Yes. We went and set up the systems. I ensured that the proper procedures were followed. I ensured procurement was done in a timely manner. People knew what it is that we were supposed to do. We got value for money. Historically, we used to have people who not even, the procurement will not be done 100%, the delivery will not be done 100%. Year one, we achieved 100%.
Right.
So, and we still have a lot of issues in terms of the roads. People would die, they would be carried in the carts with the donkeys. Yep. There was a big complaint, and that's why His Excellency the Governor thought it was wise for him to take me there to make the difference and to turn around the department. And for sure, we no longer have complaints.
Right.
Nyandarwa residents are very happy.
Right.
Very, very happy.
Right.
And I would overall say that in Nyandarwa, I've created a personal brand.
Right.
I've created a name. I've supported His Excellency the Governor.
Right.
And that is why he felt that he could reward me to move on to the next level.
Right.
And I also thought after 5 years, it has been my belief, Dennis, that once you're appointed, you have 2 years, you have 1 year to lay the foundation. The second year you deliver. If you don't do it in 2 years, you will never do it, or you're not a performer.
Right.
So having done 4 years, I'd already exceeded my target.
Yep.
So it was important for me to move on to something different.
Right.
I was at the verge of wondering, so what next?
Right.
And it was a pleasant surprise that this happened.
Yeah.
And I can only say that I trust and believe just the same way the Lord has been faithful, taking me from one glory to the other.
Right.
Even this particular one, I'll be able to start, I'll be able to make a significant difference both for the two countries, for myself, for the people around me, my friends, and of course for Nyandarwa, because I owe it to Nyandarwa.
Right.
It should be the biggest beneficiary, and I should not be heard by anyone saying this, but it ought.
Right.
It
became the platform on which you leaped off.
Yes, yes. And of course, that doesn't mean that we will not support the whole country, because I'm not a representative for Nyandarwa.
Right.
I'm a representative for Kenya.
Right.
And I will give him my best to ensure that I support His Excellency the President, and we deliver value for the people of Nyandarwa, and especially when we can improve on the trading ties. And I understand that there are quite a number of scholarships that are given. Right. And I hadn't mentioned that I'm going to be also in charge of Hungary and Slovakia. Oh. And I also do a lot of scholarships, so I'll handle those 3 countries. Okay. And also, like I said, we'll have the UN and a lot of other international bodies. Right. And I'm looking to having a great experience. Wow. And an experience that's fulfilling, an experience that will actually demonstrate that if you work hard, if you remain focused, if you're dedicated, and if you put your trust to God, everything else flows.
You know, when I just listen to the journey so far, man, I think it would be fair to call you a turnaround manager or turnaround leader.
Yes, thank you.
Because I think in every sport you've gone to, it's just turned around, and you've turned it around and turned it around. But Mary and Balozi, if we look back, therefore, you know, sitting back where you sit today and looking back at the journey you have made and looking at what has brought you this far, what would be some of the 2-3 things that you would say, when I look back, I think this pillar has been an important one, and I think paying attention to this has been important, or this aspect about this other has actually been an important one, so that then people watching you saying, I would love to make that journey. But what has Balozi found useful in the course of that journey? What would those things be?
I think, Dennis, it's important to really, for everyone to know their capabilities, to appreciate themselves, and get to know what are the deposits that I have as a person. You've called me a turnaround manager. I might not have realized that that's my definition, but when you look at the journey, the focus has been there to ensure that everything I've been given has turned around, and it has worked, because that's the assignment I've been given. Getting to understand, who are you as a person, what are your key strengths, and what are your weaknesses, so that you focus on your strengths and try and minimize the weaknesses with your mentor, because you must have a mentor who will actually tell you what you don't want to hear. The appreciating your potential, who you are as a person, and moving on to do what you need to do. The other one is focusing on success. It's very important for everyone to want to be successful in life. And I think even the people who are not educated, the key personalities who have succeeded, it's because they focused on the success. They know what is the end game. Where do I want to get to? I might not have thought that I would become the ambassador, but I've always thought I would want to leave a significant mark in this world before I leave. I would not leave a significant mark if I'm not focused, if I don't focus on that success. The other thing is having a personal brand. And I will go with the first one. Who are you as a person? Are you just swayed by everyone? Do you really know what is right? Do people recognize you? Do people know that if they want somebody to turn around, they know they can get you?
Balozi is the person.
You know, they can reach out for you. And let me tell you, that, and my mentor told me, be the best in whatever you're doing, so that in case anybody wants to pick someone, even when they feel they don't want to do away with you. And I'll tell you that even as I say this, and this resonates very well with what my mentor told me, that be the best at what you do, that you actually make yourself indispensable. Isn't it? And remember, no one is indispensable. But when they want to do away with you, they realize they have nobody else.
Absolutely.
If I look at the journey in the banking sector, if I didn't have a personal brand, if I didn't have the right moral system, maybe I'd have gone much, much higher, but I'd have been promoted to incompetence. So I actually took the steps to get to the destinations. I didn't use shortcuts. That for me, and especially from a lady's perspective, having the right moral system, having the right beliefs, having your own brand, that you can be successful without necessarily having somebody to hold you. And even if somebody has to, it's not because of other considerations. It's because you are the best in what it is that you're doing. That for me is very important. And of course, being focused. You will not get anywhere when you're not focused, when you're not diligent. You must dirtify your hands to get to wherever you want to go.
Right.
You do not want just to get there, yet you don't want to do anything.
Right.
It calls for a lot of hard work. I know we say we work smart, but even as you work smart, you have to put in extra hours. I tell you, if I look at my stint in the county, do you know at times I sleep at 2, at times I sleep at 4
in the morning.
And people, my friend, ask me, how can you manage at your age? Why are you managing? But I'm focusing on excellence. I'm focusing on the governor's re-election. I'm focusing on him leaving a legacy. I will not be able to achieve if I don't dedicate my time. If I don't do, even actually end up doing what I'm not supposed to do. I end up being everywhere for things to work. I might not please everyone, but somebody somewhere must take the responsibility.
Absolutely.
Somebody somewhere must run with it for you to succeed. So going out of your way, doing even whatever it is that you don't have to. I do speeches for the governor.
Wow.
Yeah, I do for him the talking notes. I'm not in communication. But he has trained me. He knows if he wants, within a few hours, he will get the best. I mean, you just have to give yourself. You must be willing to serve. And that has really that has helped me, and I get a lot of satisfaction as a result of what impact am I giving to the people. If I can't be impactful, then I'm not worth being in this world. If I can't be impactful, it doesn't matter. Even if it's a small impact that somebody will remember. As the Bible says, one thing. Just remember one thing. So
this one good thing. This one good thing. You know, you talk about even doing the speech for the governor, and you know, simple as that may sound, I think it's a very symbiotic outcome at the end of the day. Because then it must also be an opportunity for you to also learn from him, who has been in this space for a couple of years and has been in public service for such a long time. I'm sure by the time you do a couple of them, you also then learn from him, because then you guys end up discussing these things.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And understanding the county on a page.
Right.
You know the way we used to do in Equity?
Right.
The county on a page.
Right.
I understand the county.
Absolutely.
I might not be in health, but I understand everything that's happening in health just because I'm part of that.
Absolutely.
And it's because I've given myself. I might look like, maybe people might think I want to be the one to shine, but it's not for me. It's for the residents. It's for His Excellency. He shines in a way. I also shine.
Absolutely.
And like you say, I've learned a lot from him. If I can do a speech for him, and he says, this is a good one. I did the last one for Honorable Mother when she came in, and he said it is well done. It takes. He's not just a leader. When
you think about the offices he's held,
he's an exceptional leader.
Absolutely.
He's very articulate. He's very specific to what it is that he wants done. He's very keen to details. That is the leader that you have in Nyandarwa. So if I can work with him, get his confidence, then I can only be
and
blessed.
Seal of approval at the
then I can only be blessed.
You've said so many of them, but allow me just to pick one called, you've talked about the brand you become. And you know, there's this discussion of brand where you say, brand is not who you think you are. It's actually who people say you are. And sometimes we have this illusion within ourselves of who we are. And the public has a different view. And the people who observe our character, our tenants and everything else have a different view. And I just want you to speak a little bit about then that brand building process that really eventually then positions you for wherever it positions you.
It's interesting, even when we talk about personal brand, we know the brand attributes, and we know how we position the brand, how we package the brand, but it becomes very difficult to package yourself as a brand. I'll tell you, I owe it to a lady who I used to fellowship with, called Leah. Leah one day told me, even if you told me I got you at State House, I'd actually not be surprised. So we were in a chama, and she tells me, even if I heard that you're in State House, I would not be surprised. I actually sat back and asked myself, what is it that she has seen in me that personally I do not know? And I'll tell you, from there, I started wanting to know, who am I?
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery. What is it that I need to do? How do I need to get wherever I need to get to? Then my mentor told me, you have to be the best at what.
And maybe you need to give a shout out to your mentor, man. You've talked about your mentor a couple of times.
My mentor is Dr. Haron Roselma. He's actually right now he's He's the Director General in terms of debt management, the Treasury.
Right.
He's been my mentor for the last over 10 years. And he's actually he actually pushed me. And I'll tell you, like, I'd taken too long to finish my degree, and he told me, this one, no, I do not want. And I realized it is serious. Thank you so much, Daktari, for having been there for me and walking the journey with me.
Absolutely.
And then the importance of getting a mentor,
even
as you build your brand. Because people get to get feedback of who you are. So in terms of how do I build my brand, do you know who you are? Do you know your key attributes? It's good that when I was in the bank, in Equity Bank, we need to do a lot of psychometrics. That will tell you about your temperament, about your strength and where you are. Then you are actually able to understand who you are as a person. Once you understand who you are, there are things that you need to build on, there are things that you need to change, there are needs that you need someone else to come and help you to actually actualize. And other than the skills and the key competences, it's about you as a person and what you believe in. That has shaped me to a brand that everybody knows. We see Mary, she's this and she's not this.
Yes.
I mean, I am too transparent.
And it is just clear like that.
It is so clear. I'm too transparent for anybody's liking. And I have no apologies.
Absolutely.
I have no apologies
just
to
being
make.
you.
I'm just, and I'm appreciating that I will never be anybody else. I can only be myself. I can only try and make a difference to the people I'm working with. Once I developed that brand, once I appreciated who I am, now I started working on excellence. Because now I understand myself. I know I am very impatient with non-performance. I'm impatient with small talk. I'm impatient with so many things. And I will focus my time on adding value. We focus so much time on non-essentials. But if we can focus on adding value. I mean, being a lady, I don't consider myself as a lady. Because I have no time, I have no room to go and gossip, so to speak. I only have time to focus on what adds value. That makes you to become a personal brand. And of course, with feedback that you get from people, like you tell me I'm this, James would tell me I'm this. I remember James told me, I know you, it's not about money, it is about whatever it is that you're doing. People are able to describe you. People are able to tell you things that you didn't know. Then you're able to focus on it and know that is my key strength. I must capitalize on my key strength. If I have this weakness of being impatient with people, if I have and I'm short-tempered, if things are not working, I mean,
out of the impatience.
Out of the impatience. And out of people going round to arrive at the same thing, I only know how to put it as it is.
Bullseye, let's go.
Yes, this is the way it should be. Stop taking me around to just tell me the same thing. You're wasting time. Let's get it right and get on.
Absolutely.
Then I know I have that challenge. I'll get very impatient. I'll get very angry at times. I might say things that are not, but I would have to pray over it. I have to appreciate that that's my weakness. I have to work on it. If I don't work on it, then of course I won't have the emotional intelligence. I won't be able to achieve my focus. And there we go. Balozi, I want to wish you well, man. Thank you.
And congratulations as you do. You said it's Austria.
Yes.
It is
Hungary and
Slovakia.
Yes.
3 wonderful countries.
Yes.
And I'm sure that then to the farmers out there, they can expect you to open some doors for them.
Precisely. I honestly pray that we will make a significant difference to the farmers of this great country of ours. Will make a significant difference. I can see we are just about to end. And before we end, you know, despite the fact that I've been a county executive committee member, I've actually been involved in politics.
Oh, yes.
And politics is everything.
Absolutely.
And, I think I want to take this opportunity to request Kenyans to ensure that they are peaceful. And what I tell the people in Nyandarwa is that let's get to focus on issue-based politics. Let's forget about people-based politics. Let's think about the economy. Where is it that we are going? Let's know that even after 9th, we'll still be in this Kenya. Let's create peace. Let's do mature politics. Let's work together. Let's focus on what it is that we want to do. And I say, and the Bible says the leaders are actually they are gifted or they are selected by God.
Right.
God already knows who is it that he's going to install for us as a leader.
Right.
And all we need is to pray to get that connection,
right,
so that we get the right person
right,
at the helm.
Right.
Because if we don't get the right person, and like I say, I'm supposed to be a political
right,
at this level,
right,
but even as a country, we need to get the right people
right,
who will focus and lead this country to great heights.
Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that everybody will think about it and exercise their rights to do the right thing. But most importantly, pray that they are able to get the right direction. And we pray that we'll have peaceful elections.
Absolutely.
We can't afford to have it wrong.
Absolutely.
We can't afford to go back to 2008, 2007.
Right.
It will be very painful. It will take us back. We are seeing what is happening in the economy. Let's just ensure that we get it right. It's my personal appeal to all the Kenyans. Let's remain peaceful. Let's get it right. We don't have to share the same ideals, but we are all Kenyans. We require a peaceful country.
Absolutely. Yes. And Balozi, I must say, that's not even just a Nyandarwa appeal. I think this country is all we have.
Yes.
It is a place we call home.
Yes.
It is a place we have a sacred duty to.
Yes.
And it's a place we must do all we must to protect our heritage.
Yes, we
and
do.
to give our children a safe place where they can grow, irrespective of what your first name or last name is. It should never matter.
No,
I think it was Martin Luther King who said he had a dream that we shall ultimately be judged not by the skin of our color or the tribes we come from in our case, but the content of our character.
It is true.
And I pray that we can hold hands together and build a nation truly that we are all very, very proud of.
Amen.
And making positive contributions,
Amen. Amen.
Making positive contributions,
Yes.
man. Yeah,
Yes.
I think we must do that. We owe ourselves and we owe this country. And most importantly, we also owe the generations to come.
Yes.
A peaceful election.
Yes, we do.
And a great election.
It's true.
Absolutely.
And we move on. We ensure that we achieve that which God wants us to achieve. Kenya is a very great country. We love it, like you say.
Yes.
We are here to make it change.
Absolutely.
And we are the leaders.
Absolutely.
We don't expect other leaders to come in. We are the leaders. We must continue reminding the citizenry that we have a duty and responsibility to ensure that we get it right.
Absolutely.
It's not about the politicians. It's about all of us.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. After all, how can we do it differently when Balozi, you're going to look for opportunities for our farmers and our business people and our students and scholarships and all of that stuff? We must just maintain the peace so that then we can enjoy those benefits. I mean, folks, man, there is absolutely no value in Balozi looking for opportunities, and in the meantime, we cannot even meet those demands because we've decided to fight, man. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I think this is the only country we have. We've got to love it enough to do a good job on August 9th.
Thank you.
And beyond there.
Thank
even if we differ on opinions,
yes,
we must do it respectively.
We must, yes. Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am so happy for you. I am so happy for you, Balozi.
Thank you.
And I wish you the very best as you discharge your mandate.
Thank you.
May God bless you, man.
Bless
that
you
same God who's been with you all this long,
yeah,
He shall go before you.
Amen.
You will do absolutely, absolutely well.
Amen.
You will thrive.
Amen.
And I have no doubt this nation will celebrate you.
Thank you.
All the great things that you shall do.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Asante
Celebrate it for all you've already done and all you will do.
Yes.
Asante sana, Balozi. And thank you for coming to the Goldmine Show.
Thank you.
Absolutely appreciated.
Okay.
Absolutely appreciated.
Thank you.
Well, folks, man, that has been quite an amazing conversation. I mean, if I was to title it, I don't know what they shall give it as a title, but I would almost say from a clerk, from a copy typist, to Balozi, and so much more. Folks, you've got to believe in the greatness inside of you. And where you believe does not necessarily look like where you will end. Between where you start and where you get to are the many tenets that Balozi has talked to us about. There is questions of discipline. There is focus. There is self-awareness. I had mentorship. They had the desire to keep growing. And just the impatience about average and mediocrity and just seeking to become the greatest version of yourself. And indeed, if a copy typist then is Balozi today, then I want to let you know that anything is possible if you give yourself the chance, if you believe in you, and if you keep working at who you are. It's exactly why we do the Goldmine Show, to keep reminding you that there is greatness inside of you. Even when she was a copy typist, an ambassador lay on the inside of her, just as she didn't know it at that point in time. But in the fullness of time, greatness becomes uncovered. Keep working your greatness. Keep working everything that you are. Don't quit on you, but keep giving yourself the opportunity and applying the principles that have worked for Balozi on your way to where you want to be, man. We want to wish Balozi the very best, and I want to say we are so honored that this was the first stop she had an interview after being confirmed as the Balozi, and that's what's up on the Goldmine Show. Keep following us on the Goldmine Show on Facebook, on Instagram, as well as on YouTube, and let's keep building a great community that believes in our greatness. But most importantly, please share this with other people. Let them watch Balozi's journey and let them draw some inspiration. Until next time, God bless you. Keep working the greatness inside of you, and don't quit on you, but become everything that God destined for you to be. God bless you, and see you next time.